2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he did. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yeah, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come to Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to. I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning. Sure. First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate. Remember this.
No,
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and it happens to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once? This entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting that you said thank you, you went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the option in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No, you've done all the talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military equipment.
You
and your
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have our military equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I'll tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those agreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, If you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you'd take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire?
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you get fire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't me.
For you what
that wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
An exchange that happened a little earlier this evening. Well, now let's speak to Dr. Amat Viva, visiting senior research fellow at the King's Russia Institute at King's College London, and she specializes in conflict and peace studies. Madam, thank you so much for joining us here on the program. So you've been watching the exchange between the three leaders, really, because J.D. Vance got involved as well. The obvious question, what did you make of it?
It is pretty astounding. We have never seen anything ever like this in international diplomacy, let alone in the Oval Office. Zelensky, in my view, completely misunderstood his audience. Normally, he's quite well-tuned to whom he's talking to. He has played PR function very well throughout his career. Now he sort of made, I think, the biggest mistake of his entire political career. Trump is not very kind to people who attack him personally, not very kind to those who attack the United States. And certainly he did not accept something like this from Zelensky, who was originally not welcome in the White House to start with. It was only President Macron who persuaded Trump to accommodate a Zelensky visit on the occasion of signing the raw metals deal.
If I may just ask you, though, where was exactly do you think Zelensky attacked the United States and attacked the president?
I think that he felt he really either has very strong European backing behind him, or that that would make a very strong kind of PR gamble.
Sure, no, but forgive me, it's just that you said during the meeting you got the sense that Zelensky attacked the president or attacked the United States. I'm just wondering which bit of the meeting you think Zelensky did that in. I mean, he was obviously, tempers flared. He was quite resentful about a few comments, but I'm just wondering where it is you think that Zelensky attacked Donald Trump.
When he, not Donald Trump, United States, when he was trying to say that Americans would feel this and Americans will feel that. And that was something is probably for American people and American leadership to really kind of say. And it's not really up to Zelensky to make this kind of statements.
Especially what he was saying was that the American people might feel the impact if the war was to expand. He mentioned the ocean in between. Let me just ask you this now. Do you think it's salvageable? I mean, the exchange that we saw, you said yourself, these sorts of images are never really seen in front of cameras. They may have been behind closed doors, but not on camera. Do you think there's any way back from this?
Not that much room with Trump personally, but there are other people in Trump's team certainly, and Zelensky is going to come to London. He is going to have a meeting with the European leaders, so that they might be kind of go-betweeners baggage. That's one thing. The other thing, it would also depend how much progress will be achieved in the Russian-American bilateral track. And that is also part of the picture. If Russian-American talks would progress well, that would be more of a setback for Zelensky.
Just going back to the actual exchange, that quite shocking exchange that we have been watching, do you think it was tempers flaring, perhaps Zelensky not quite understanding his audience, three men being quite aggressive or passive-aggressive? Or do you think that ultimately there are clear divisions between the sides and these fault lines were going to come up anyway?
I think that Zelensky had quite a strong card with President Biden. And back in September last year, when President Biden invited Zelensky and said, what is your peace plan? We want to know what it is, and we would be very willing to help you. That was the time when Zelensky could negotiate sensible and tangible security guarantees with the United States. At that time, there was also European and American transatlantic consensus on what that could be. But Zelensky did come with a plan which essentially required continuation of fighting and supply. So that was a key moment which I think was missed. And from that, there was also kind of a bit of a downhill slide.
I'm wondering what you think reaction will be in Russia to the images that we saw.
Well, so far they have the same feeling of the rest of us. They are just in total disbelief because they have never seen anything like this. Certainly there is no love lost in the Russian establishment for Zelensky personally. But it was something which they, I think, are still internalizing. Certainly it's an advantage for them, but it is not something which they orchestrated in any way. So yes, shock, surprise, and some degree of amusement. Yeah, I guess yes.
Yes, I suppose Vladimir Putin, obviously, I'm guessing, have welcomed some of those scenes. Let me just bring you some of the reactions. President Zelensky did tweet after the meeting. He said, "Thank you, America. Thank you, support. Thank you for the visit. Thank you, POTUS, Congress, American people." This kind of picking up on the fact that J.D. Vance had said he hadn't said thank you during the meeting. And then he also adds, "Ukraine needs just and lasting peace. We are working exactly for that." Do you think there is a chance? I mean, I know you mentioned the diplomacy that might happen when Zelensky heads back to Europe, but do you think while he is in the US, there's any chance of another meeting between the leaders or potentially signing the minerals deal or anything like that?
I don't think that anything can be achieved by a further continuation of contact between personally Zelensky and Trump, but Zelensky has a team. He foreign ministry, he has his presidential aides, he has other people around him who are now desperately trying to mitigate the damage, who probably have advised him to put out this statement, and they would be doing some kind of context behind the scenes. But it would, in Zelensky's circumstances, would be probably better now to keep himself out of the picture for the time and not to be in the limelight.
Dr. Anna Matvieva, we're going to have to leave it there. Visiting Senior Research Fellow at King's College Russia Institute. Madam, thank you for sharing your views with us.
Thank you.
This news coming up. We hear what the UK government feels about today's extraordinary showdown in the White House.
We arrive. A secret hospital.